And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me, as always, Tyler.
Hey, welcome back
Welcome back.
to the listeners.
Little absence.
A little bit. September is always the rough month for us.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know. The same thing with last year.
Start of football?
But now it's October, so it doesn't matter. We're back.
We are back. How was your little trip?
To Ohio, the great Sunshine State.
Yep. No. I don't know what state they are.
The
Dog Pound?
the Dog Pound State. It was good. It was good. Yeah, got to see Kyle. He has a dope house. He has it's like a really weird where it's like his garage, you saw it. So
yeah.
Did he take you through the whole tour and stuff where there's just a million doors, you don't really know what door goes where?
Awesome to play hide and seek in there.
It's really cool. Yeah.
And then 8 doors lead to the backyard.
Yeah.
There's tunnels and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like his entertainment setup. He's got a huge TV and surround sound and stuff.
Yep.
And he was showing me Top Gun, and he has it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, we watched
I guess.
Top Gun together though, right?
I wasn't there for that.
Oh, you weren't there for that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So was that wasn't at the Ohio house though?
No, that was his old
but
house.
the same setup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you can
stuff.
feel the rumbling in your chair. You're like,
yeah.
I'm in a jet.
Yep.
Yeah, and then his house puts a million G's in your face.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't do that. But that'd be sick. That's the next evolution.
Yeah.
Of what do they call that?
You can wear a
5D
vest
or something
and,
stupid.
Yeah, fourth dimension.
They say 4D,
To mine. I
and
don't
then
know.
spray you with water and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that
Pirates
was
of
at
the Caribbean, right?
Well, that was something.
Yeah, with bees. Honey, I
Pirates of the
Shrunk Kids,
Caribbean.
maybe?
Yeah, I remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
3D or whatever, 4D. Was that Orlando?
Yeah.
Was that Disney?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Universal maybe.
Was it Universal?
I think so.
I don't think I've ever been to Universal though, so I don't.
Oh, well, then maybe not. I don't know.
But I don't think it must have been. I don't know. I was really young when that happened.
Yep.
I do remember that though.
I remember we went and it was the tail end of it where things kind of worked, but nozzles were clogged, and so you would get sprayed with water, but it was 5-6 seconds after you should have been sprayed by water.
I was really young, so maybe I just didn't notice. But I remember that, and then I think there's a skunk or something, and then it stunk.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure it actually didn't stink and it was just water, and then the water was just gross water that they were spraying
I guess
on you?
I
It was
don't know.
recycled.
As a kid, it
Yeah.
stunk.
Anyway, Kyle didn't have any of that, but he had a really cool house, so we went there. It's a 3-hour drive because I was too cheap to pay the tolls, and just audiobook the whole way, which was really nice.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I think the end, maybe 40 minutes sucked because it was just this straight road. It's nighttime. It's raining. Audiobook's going, and I'm just man, I'm falling asleep. This is not
that's
good.
not good.
Yeah. So besides that, everything was fine. It was a chill weekend. It wasn't heavy drinking or anything like that. Went frisbee golfing in the woods, which sucks. But frisbee golfing's cool. Nature not cool. So it's kind of a give and take type of thing.
Is there any nature that you like?
No.
There's zero nature that you like?
Maybe the ocean from a distance.
Like the beach?
But
But you don't like being on the beach?
yeah, I like being in a air conditioned hotel room overlooking the beach and sitting on the balcony and reading my Kindle.
Yeah.
My honeymoon. That was really cool. Yeah. No, it was good. Frisbee golf, I'm terrible at, so it would take a lot of practice to actually do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
I got stung, which didn't feel great.
By a bee?
By a bee. Yeah.
Damn,
Felt like my leg was on fire for a little bit, so
Damn.
that sucked.
Are you allergic?
No, turns out I'm not allergic.
That's good.
It hurt for a long while.
Really?
Though. Yeah.
Dang.
Played pickleball for the first time, which was super cool.
Yeah?
Tripped and fell and accordioned my body.
Okay.
So my head and neck were
Touching?
bent, and then my feet were above, I have a big gash on my shoulder and stuff.
Really?
It looks pretty gnarly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You always get hurt at these functions.
I like to go 110% whenever I'm physically active.
Yeah.
The 2 times a year when I
yeah, the problem is you don't do anything the rest of the year.
Yeah, because I hurt myself.
Well, you see the cycle?
Yeah. Anyway, no, it was a great time. He made some bomb food as he always does.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because he makes really good steak. You've had his steak, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was no different this time around.
For sure.
And maybe it was just because I was hungry at the time or something, but like he made this chicken that was like really good. Like really good
Dude,
chicken.
last time we went over his house, I forget if it was like Lord of the Rings marathon or whatever, but
Yeah.
that chicken he made, it was that he puts this like seasoning on it. It's like so good.
Yep.
It was just chicken and rice. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I have this every day. I was like, dude, that's the life.
Well, I've been doing that microwave chicken, and this is just like
Well, yeah,
little
you've been poisoning
step or
yourself.
half above, yeah.
How's that going? How's your weight loss journey?
Great. So I went up like 2 pounds from that weekend, and now I'm down to 245 from 272.
Damn, dude. I don't know how you do it.
I just don't eat.
I literally started this week because my friend's wedding is in like a month now, like maybe a month and a half.
It's coming fast.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, trying to cut weight. And I didn't eat anything this week, dude. And I'm down like 1 pound this morning.
There's this like weird plateau thing that is like super discouraging, and like whenever I hit that, that's when I usually bounce back. But like I was like, nope, I'm just gonna not go over. So I just stay under 1,400 and I'm good.
I can't believe you do that. I'm at 1,700.
Yeah, but you're active. I sit in my chair all day. Like at best, I get on the treadmill and do the little under the desk walk. Like,
Under the desk, you're still sitting and walking?
well, no, you stand one.
I was
It's a
gonna say,
standing
I was
desk. You hit the
even-
thing and it moves up, and then you just put the thing.
Oh,
underneath.
it goes under the desk.
Yeah.
I was like, what is an under the desk walk?
Yeah, you put the
Get
treadmill
under
under the
your
desk,
desk
and you just walk.
just crawl.
No, well, that probably would exert more calories.
Crawling? Probably
Yeah, you don't think?
not. Definitely not.
I bet.
You
I
bet crawling? Why do you think babies crawl?
To stay fit. What else can they do? You know,
Right,
like
right. Exactly. What
Yeah.
else can they do? It's almost like walking's harder.
You think walking? No, I think
Yes, walking's
you know,
harder than crawling, dude.
I'm
when
not
you're
saying-
when you're hurt, you crawl. When you're in like, when
What I'm saying is, if you take a walking speed of like 3.5 miles an hour, which I think is like actually kind of fast for like work, like you're
Alright.
typing an email, 3.5 is a little quick.
okay,
So even like 2.5.
yeah,
If you're taking that and you're putting that speed on and you're crawling, I bet you tire out way faster crawling at 3.5 miles an hour than you do walking. You're crawling like your gait. I think that's what it's called, right? Like your stride
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah,
That your walking stride is much longer than
yeah.
crawling.
I guess if you're going at the same speed,
Well, that's what
I
I'm
guess.
talking about.
I didn't know that. You
All
just said
right.
crawling.
I don't even know why I'm arguing with you because I don't crawl. But I just want to stand up for all the babies out there.
I'm not against babies.
Okay.
I'm
Seem
just saying
anti-baby.
crawling's easier
That's all
than
I'm
walking.
saying.
All right, then I don't know. I don't know how to win this
Work's
one.
been rough this week. I'm just out for blood. Like I just want to argue at this point.
Dude, your emails, they're going out. Mm-hmm. What's fall that now for Dick's Sporting Goods?
What's what?
What's fall? What's like the email lineup?
The email. It's same lineup as we do all the
really?
other
It doesn't
yeah,
change?
same
I thought it
categories.
changed like by season and stuff. I don't know.
We send out more during like
like,
the
is it
high
still
marketing
golf
times.
stuff?
It's always golf, and it's every category
Like
that we sell.
But like in the dead of winter, why would you send out golf emails?
Because
Need to buy for next season?
there are places in the country that don't have snow and still golf.
No, everything is.
California, Florida,
Everything I see is what happens in the
golf.
rest of the world.
Okay, yeah.
My experience
Gotcha.
is the universe.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe it's snowing everywhere. That's
Yeah, dude.
really cold
That's what
out
I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Well, I'm glad you had a good trip. That's cool.
yeah. It was really awesome. I do miss Kyle. I wish he was like closer, but
Yeah. Yeah, it always sucks when your friends move away,
yep.
but that's life.
Yeah. He
More
has
or
a
less.
crazy workshop, man. It's just
Like his garage.
his entire garage is
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
this
yeah.
like workshop. Like my grandpa would have been like salivating over everything.
Dude,
he's
he
doing
gets
with it.
into all these hobbies. I respect that.
He's doing a server now.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I
Yeah.
don't even know what that means.
Just a lot of hard drives and just massive plex. I think the big difference between what he does and what Harbin does is Kyle's doing like full fat, like best sound, best visuals, best. You know,
Are
like,
you
like
on
the
his
actual
Plex?
Explain. I'm actually not. No,
Hmm.
we gotta test it out, like bandwidth wise and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like he's doing it where it's like part of it's like almost preservation of like his physical media, which is like
Yeah.
super cool, which I'm super into.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah, he was showing me some stuff he was getting, and then of course, because I Googled some stuff for him, I'm getting all computer part ads again. So my dumb lizard brain is starting to be like, oh,
Time to upgrade.
You could maybe upgrade your fans. And so tomorrow I'm ripping my computer apart and like redoing my fans.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's that easy to get you?
It's not like, I don't know if you could see like how dusty that is. Like my computer is like,
You haven't cleaned in a while?
no, not since the move and all that stuff happened. I just got really lazy with it. So
Right.
like I'm going to rip everything out, rewire everything, put in fans,
Damn.
get rid of all of the RGB stuff. I actually bought, so like I'm getting rid of my glass panel and my glass front.
Yeah.
And I'm getting just like metal, like just black, like can't see into it. Like I don't want to know what's going on in there. I just want stuff to work.
Have you had trouble with the glass or what?
Not so much the glass, but like with the glass, you can really tell when it gets dirty, and it just looks gross.
And then you don't like that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll just.
So you want like a Schrodinger's computer?
Yeah, like it's like
yeah.
perfect in there as long as you don't open it. You know.
I don't think that's how it goes, but I see.
No,
what
I'm
you're
pretty
saying.
sure that's how it goes. Yeah.
The cat is
So-
perfect
Until
otherwise
it's
stated.
alive, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that I can see that.
That's my goal with it. But I'm putting in so it's twofold. I'm putting in Noctua fans, which are like creme de la creme fans, super quiet, really good airflow, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they're ugly as hell. They're like taupe with like brown accents.
You can't get different colors.
You can get black, but they're not as like, it's like a lesser
Can you
quality.
spray paint the taupe ones?
You could, but then you would either have to take it apart,
Yeah.
which you don't want to do,
Right.
or you run the risk of like gunking up the not hydraulics, but like the ball bearings and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that would be tough. Do you know what number taupe is?
Hex code wise, no.
Yeah.
I don't. There are a couple F's in there though.
Damn, I thought you were that good.
I'm
I was
not that
telling
good.
I was at my buddy's house yesterday, the one who's getting married, and they were looking at these lights for like the wall, I guess.
Yeah.
You shine lights on a wall, it makes the room look something.
Yeah.
And so he was putting in the hex numbers or whatever, and I was like, dude, my buddy knows every hex number.
That is 16.5 million.
I
I do not know.
I was really hyping you up, bro. I'm a good friend like
Buddy,
that.
I know white, I know black,
And he's like, Tyler,
and
like, what's he do?
I can give you shades of gray, and that's about it.
And I was like, dude, he's like a graphic designer, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's sick. So now he thinks you're really smart.
Well, nah.
Dude, just fool him next
I
time.
can,
He's
I
not going
can.
to check you on it.
Who am I fooling, Devin?
Yeah, Devin.
Yeah, I could-
If you ever
okay,
see
I'll
him,
fool
I'll
Devin.
just point to like a color. You'll be like 869F. Well, at least you know how.
That's a color.
Is that a color?
Well, you need 6 of them.
869F.
Yeah, you need 2 more.
J.
2J, no J's. Can't do J's.
Why not?
F through E,
Okay. Except after P.
or I'm sorry, not F through E. A through F.
Do the letters and numbers have to go in a particular order, or they can go in any order?
Like, what do you mean?
Can it be letter, number, number?
Yeah.
Or number? Does there have to be a letter?
Does not have to be a letter.
Okay, it doesn't have to be a letter. Does there have to be a number?
No.
Okay, so it can be all letters or all numbers or any combination.
Except the the numbers are from 0 to 9. The
Yeah.
letters are from A to F.
Right, okay. And then it has to be 6 digits.
Yeah.
Can there be more than 6 digits?
Yeah, but now you're getting into opacities, and you don't want to. So yes, technically,
And that's just the
That's-
fade and stuff?
yeah, like how see through it is.
So I was like showing them, they were like looking for a good color combination. And then
Yeah.
I brought up that color wheel that I always use for Tekken.
Yeah.
And then, so the thing about that though is I think when you're doing complementary colors, it's just the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yep.
And it doesn't look bad, but sometimes it looks a little cliche.
For a wedding, that might not like. What are the wedding colors?
I don't know. They were doing pink, and then I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, okay, the opposite of that is like mint green.
Yeah.
And then Devin said, oh, that looks like Crunchberry Twist or something from South Park.
Is that not his wedding theme? Crunchberry Twist.
I guess not.
Okay.
It's not Crunchberry Twist. One of the superheroes. You ever see? You haven't seen
I
South
don't
Park?
see that. Yeah.
But it was like pink and mint green.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
It can.
Yeah, I don't know.
The issue is you start getting it, like, especially with lights, like if there's a very clear pink light and a very clear green light and they're not blending together, then like I could get behind that. But you'll get your oranges and blues. That's super popular on YouTube. They were doing blue and pinks.
They were doing like blue and gold or something.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is like certain lights, and depending on which ones they have, like certain colors, like especially like gold and yellows and like even whites, never look good. Like they're typically like, if you're gonna go like gold, you're better off just getting a white light and just changing the Kelvin on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing to consider too is like, I guess when you take a picture of it, it sometimes looks a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So you got to factor that into. Just be a lot of pictures.
That's looking different, or how it illuminates you, or how it illuminates other things within the wedding and stuff.
Yeah, and then I guess the carpets at the wedding place like navy blue, and then the walls are like something.
Navy blue isn't too bad. It's just gonna look black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't know you had to figure all that stuff out for a wedding. I thought it just kind of happened.
Chelsea. Well, I would say Chelsea and I kind of collaborated on a lot of that stuff. But it's typically like, depending on the venue, they'll just be like, oh, hey,
here's what we got.
We have gold, or we have not gold.
Well, yours was like outside.
Yeah.
So I don't remember any lights.
DJ had some lights. There were lights. But that's the thing is, if you don't remember the lights, that's, I would say, arguably kind of good. Like either you're putting lights on and it's like you're doing it for like a statement thing or whatever, or the lights are just complimentary. I mean, like you didn't walk around in the dark, right? So like there are lights there.
Yeah, I suppose you were
like
correct.
You had the firelight. You had kind of some soft white lights.
Yeah, the fires were going.
Yeah.
Well, the lights were in the tent, so you had like a tent on your wedding, and then you had like an outdoor patio area.
Yeah, and above there were like string lights.
Oh, see, I don't remember that at all. I just remember crushing at cornhole.
Yep.
I was on there for like 8 hours. It felt like
the most important thing of the day.
It might have been the greatest run of cornhole recorded in human history. We're still working on that. The research department, as soon as we fill that position, is gonna work their tail off on that. But I was cooking. I was cooking so much that to this day, whenever there is cornhole being played, Kyle calls me as his partner because it is etched in his mind that I'm the greatest cornhole player of all time.
Would it surprise you that out of the games we played, because we played two different types of cornhole, one was normal cornhole and one was like a wavy cornhole where like the board would look like a...
I just thought of an idea.
Okay.
Battleship cornhole.
That'd be great.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You put like a tarp up, like a volleyball net.
Yep.
And you can't see, and then you're throwing cornholes over, and you align. You get like longer cornhole boards, and then some shorter one. You get like the little sub you put in the corner. Everyone puts it in the corner, and then you try to, you know what I mean? So it's like skill, but you're also trying to guess where it's at. Now, if it was really, like, I think that's the basic premise, but if you're really trying to spice it up, whenever you throw the bag over, okay, and then it lands, if there was like a grid or something to show you where it landed, so you're like, okay, it's not there, so you aimed for a different spot.
What if you had a giant grid of wood, and there was, and like it's like your normal battleship grid,
yeah,
probably a little smaller.
Yeah, you'd probably want it a little smaller.
And you'd have all the holes, right? And you would throw it into the hole that you want, and it says hit or miss or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once you put that in there, you take like a piece of wood and you just plug that hole. So then as you're throwing the bags, you have to get it into the hole to get like the right...
Oh, so you can see perfectly.
You can just see your board like you can in Battleship, where it's like you're kind of guessing on what...
Are you throwing it over like a middle pillar?
No, I think it's just like a normal cornhole ball. Where it's like
So it's just a wood square.
Yeah.
And there's all those holes, and then you just don't know until you
sink a hole, and then when
they either plug it or they have a little smoke tuff come out.
Yeah. And you could get like maybe like there's...
So you can either do that,
okay,
or you have the thing in the middle where you can't see and you got to throw it over.
Well, there should be a thing in the middle regardless, because you shouldn't be able to see where their stuff is. You could throw it over,
I
but
thought
how are you
in yours you just see the whole board. And
you just see your board like you can in Battleship.
Yeah,
so in Battleship, you have,
I know how to play Battleship.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure because it doesn't sound like...
Well, I'm
like
saying,
throwing things over.
The way you're describing it seems like there's just a flat board
for your side, and then there's a divider, and then there's a flat board for their side.
Then why is there a million holes on there?
Because you have to sink the hole to call the thing.
So what I'm saying is, I think maybe you should just have the boards, so you have a couple different sizes, and then you place them.
Yeah,
and then there's two things that can happen: either you hit a ship
Yeah.
and it's a glancing blow, and so it's indicated that there's a ship there,
Okay.
but it's not sunk,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So then you're like, oh shit, okay, so it's close, and then you keep going for it. Now you only sink it when you get in the hole, but that's a way to kind of feel out where they are.
Yeah.
And then obviously you sink it when you get it in the hole, and then they.
But you have to get it in the hole blind.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, dude, people can get in the hole when they can see the hole.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it's just like a long game.
Might be
take
I
a
don't
whole
know.
wedding.
and then you might reposition. You can
Yeah.
reposition like once per game,
Okay, like a re-rack.
like a re-rack.
Yeah, okay.
Call an island or something.
Seems more elaborate than Battleship.
I think there's something there,
Sure,
but
build it, patent it, put it out. Someone will buy it. Kyle will buy it.
yeah, but well, I mean, if you're actually selling that, it's like, okay, well, how do we do this and not like it's going to cost $1,000? That's more of a thing
Yeah.
where it's like you just make it and then you play it with your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's
Like
something
if you had
there.
a friend
It needs
with like
tweaked
a
a little bit.
workshop and like a wood shop, you could kind of like
Kyle
move
could
it
make
around
that.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd play it. I think that'd be fun.
Anyway, I did really well at cornhole.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
kept
completely.
sinking them at the end. Gerard and I I just hole.
Yeah.
It was that special one where it was like the wavy board.
Yeah.
But it was very conducive to how I throw
I would not have liked the wavy board.
him. Kyle was talking how it was like super slick and stuff like that, but when we played, he was like, I might have exaggerated a little
Overhyped
bit,
it, yeah.
or just worn out.
But you're a
over
wavy
time.
kind of guy.
So my thing is, I like to hold the corner of the bean bag.
Okay.
I shake all the beans into the one thing.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of fling it using the heavy ended of the beans as like the weight
Yep.
to kind of go.
Right.
And that's just how I play. And either I'm really hot or I just can't hit anything.
Like a
And-
trebuchet,
like a trebuchet, except
Really?
underhanded trebuchet.
like a inverted trebuchet.
Yeah. Yeah. If that would actually work.
I'm thinking about a trebuchet. They drop the weight
Yeah.
and then
And
it
it
goes.
swings. Yeah. So this would go underhanded.
You could do an inverted trebuchet. You shoot a rocket upwards,
Uh-huh.
and then it goes the other way around.
I feel like if you have a rocket, maybe you don't need the trebuchet, but
I'm
I
just
could
saying it's
I could be
possible.
off there. Yeah.
I don't know. That's cool. I'm
Stick
glad
to
you
the
wanted
Battleship
cornhole.
cornhole. Yeah.
I
good.
want to have a birthday where we play all the games that we invented on the podcast.
That'd be great.
It's a whole night of just.
I would love to have a basket like for guests and stuff. Like we make it big, and then you just have a basket of just all the cool stuff, and then we play the games and we do that. Yeah, it'd be nice.
We have a couple games we made.
I know.
We have.
We need the research department to go back and tell us what games.
No,
those
there's
are,
there's.
Thesaurus.
The Thesaurusaurus, definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was the one Google one which I thought was fun. I don't remember the rules now though.
We could come up with that.
Where there's
The
like
Google game.
it's like you got to find a
Yeah.
subject in I don't know,
Yeah.
the least amount of searches or something.
Yeah.
And you can't can't use certain words.
workshop
Obviously,
stuff.
I don't know, dude. There's something there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so for my birthday this year, the Pittsburgh Symphony is playing Tchaik 5, which I'm really excited about.
Okay.
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
And you know him, right?
I do.
Oh, really?
I've heard about them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of my favorites because when I went on tour in Spain, that's what we played.
Okay.
That was like our big piece. So it holds a special place in my heart.
Sure.
And they're playing it on my birthday. So my idea for my birthday is
All right.
we
Am
go
I
to the
invited to your
symphony.
birthday? Is that why you're telling me this?
Well, I think there's going to be a couple sections to it because I don't think
Okay.
everyone's going to want to go to the symphony as
Okay.
much as it's my dream that everyone comes to the symphony. So
Sure.
we're going to go to the symphony.
Uh-huh.
Whoever wants to go. The only requirement is you have to dress up.
Yeah, naturally.
You don't actually have to dress up to get into the symphony, but that's my rule
Okay, yeah.
because I want to go out to the symphony. Anyways, so I'm thinking either you go dress up, fancy dinner beforehand,
Okay.
and then go to the symphony.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, river skiing.
I was going to say,
It's right
waiting
across
for
the bridge.
degenerate. Oh, this is very classy and upstanding. Oh, there it is.
Well, I think it's a tradition at this point that we go to the casino on
I
the
think
birthday.
so. Yeah.
But that's I think that's going to be the plan this year. So I need to figure out a restaurant, and then there's that one that's next to Heinz Hall, which I've never been to, but everyone says it's good. So I'm thinking maybe there, but I don't know if anyone like has a suggestion for a place downtown.
It's your birthday. What's your favorite? I mean, we can
What's
always
my favorite
drive
food?
too. Yeah,
Steak.
well, sure, but I mean, like, what's your favorite place to get a steak? You know?
McDonald's.
All right, so we go to McDonald's and then
Put
we
it
go to
in
the Symphony
between
and then
2 bagels.
yeah,
That's a good sandwich.
pretty good.
So that's my idea. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to do that.
I'm in for the Symphony. When do I need to get tickets?
I might just grab the tickets. I don't know. We'll see how many people go.
All right.
Because I always sit at the very, very back at the top. Those are the best seats.
Well, you're going to be the. You tell me what to do, I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think that'd be a good night. I think it'd be a fun night.
I think Chelsea would do the Symphony.
Really?
Probably.
I am actually kind of curious. A, how many of my friends are actually going to do that? And then B, how many are going to hate their lives?
I'll just I'll write on my little pad and talk about how this is. I'll explain everything for you.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Dude, check. I am actually curious if you like that better than the other one we listened to or what.
What did we listen to?
We listened
9?
to Shostakovich.
Fifth.
His
Still
fifth.
Yeah.
So it's 5th versus 5th.
That's pretty.
It's, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, for some reason, 4ths and 5ths are like everyone's best. Like not always, but like
sure, you got to get a couple practice runs in there, and then eventually you get it right.
Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions, and it's obviously highly debated. Like Beethoven, I think his 5th is super famous. That's the one you know. Like,
yeah, but I like the 3rd more.
They're Eroica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're joking, but the 3rd is considered one of the best symphonies
I
ever
listen
written.
to you every now and then.
And I think it might be his 9th, which is Ode to Joy. It's the last
That's my
movement.
dad's favorite song.
Yeah, he'd like that. But it's probably one of those 3. Although I like his 7th a lot. Sleeper pick. Anyways, so
7th inning sleeper.
7th inning stretch. Well, I don't know where I was going with that.
I just thought we were going down a rabbit hole of symphonies.
We are. I did see this Reddit post though. It's really cool exercise where it's like it's like symphonies 1 through 10. Mm-hmm. You list like what's the greatest symphony in each slot, and you can only use a composer once. So, for example, it's like so for the first one, let's say I think Brahms 1 is like the best first symphony ever. But then I can't do like Brahms 4 later on.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
has there been a composer that's done the first symphony as like you hit it on the first try, man, and then you should just stop?
Yeah,
like a little.
I think what I told
wonder.
Devin was I had Brahms at 1, and then Mahler 2, and then Beethoven 3, and then I had Tchaik 4, and then I had Shostakovich 5. I didn't know what to do for 6, and then I had what did I have for 7? Sibelius 7, and then I didn't know what I did for 8, and then 9 was Dvorak.
And no one's done 10?
There are 10s.
But it's kind of like a slim pickings.
No, there's 10s. I'm still working on the list.
All right. Okay.
It's a work in progress.
How's that video game list coming?
Oh, it's great.
Close?
It's right next to the symphony list.
Yeah. Okay. Is it before the symphony list, or is it just...
It's on the list.
All right.
There's a list of lists.
I just want to make sure that if anyone has submitted a list of video games and I owe you a poster...
Did you get Jeff his poster?
Not yet.
Why not?
Because it's very expensive to ship these. I'm not going to ship individual posters. I want to do a bulk order.
Look, do you want it to be right or do you want it to be quick?
I want it to be quick.
Shit.
I don't give a shit.
That's not the answer I was looking for.
I mean, I want it to be right. Yeah.
All right.
I'm kidding. Well, kind of. But that sounds cool. Anyway, what about like Texas State Brazil or something? Or is
No,
that
we
not
always
good
go to
enough?
Texas State Brazil.
Okay, all right,
I don't want to do that.
That's
No.
Chelsea's birthday anyway. You can't do it.
What do you mean I can't do it?
You can't do it.
I now want to do that.
Okay.
No, I don't want to
See
do
how
it.
I play you like a...
You do play me like
puppet?
a...
Like a puppet. Play you like a puppet. That's the saying, right? It's not a...
Fiddle. Trying to go with the musical theme that we had going, but you killed that.
Sorry.
And it's dead.
Yep.
But, conjunction. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, we'll figure out a restaurant. I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun night, though. I'm excited for that. It's shaking it up a little bit, but also, you know, I'm going to be at Rivers at like 3 a.m. still. So it's like, you know, I'm getting best of my both worlds here.
Yes.
Yeah. If I wasn't at a casino on my birthday, it wouldn't feel correct.
Yeah. I feel like that would be... If it's your birthday, that's where I would expect you to be.
Yeah, which is sad and terrible.
No, that's fine.
All right.
It's a tradition now.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not bad.
You know, I was actually looking at this list of most unattractive hobbies from like females.
Gambling's on there.
Gambling, video games, anime.
Sure.
I think bird watching was on there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I'm a bird watcher per se, but my mom loves birds, so we chat about birds. I bought her a whole bird book.
I think you mentioned that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And it's all North American birds,
which is good because that's where
we live.
We are. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I haven't told her that birds aren't real yet, so kind of trying to get there.
They spread the 5G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Who knows?
Dude, people believe that.
Do I think that there are probably surveillance
birds? There's no way there's surveillance birds.
I would not be surprised at all.
There's fake trees and stuff. I believe that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Over birds?
Yeah, it's easier to fake a tree than a bird because a tree, you can have a forest and then like a fake tree, like 5G tower hidden in the forest. But a bird is so complicated. How are you going to fake a bird?
When was the last time you actually like studied a bird when you're just walking? Like if you're focusing on something else and it's just like, oh, it's...
Like yesterday, my mom and I watched birds.
Okay, well.
And then we pull out the book that I bought her and we're like, oh, that's a finch.
A blue-throated warble.
There is a blue-throated. They're only in Alaska, though. I was just looking at that last night.
All right.
I swear to God.
I believe you.
They have blue throats.
Yeah.
It's more blue neck, but
also known as your throat.
No.
Okay.
I believe your throat is on the inside of your body, whereas the neck is not.
I think the throat is the front part of your neck, and the neck is...
Incorrect. You don't go to the doctor and say, hey, doc, I have a lozenge stuck in my neck.
Okay.
You say, I have a lozenge stuck in my throat.
So you say, hey, you have a knife to my throat.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they're gonna cut. Because it's foreshadowing on what's gonna happen into the throat.
It's gonna be the inside out.
I saved it.
Good.
Birds are crazy though. I love birds. They might be my favorite animal, like type.
So you must hate windmills then.
I do hate windmills.
Number one
100%.
enemy of birds. Yeah,
dude. Every time I'm driving, they're talking about clean energy. The windmills are never moving.
Yeah. There's no wind.
And also, there's one that just broke in on the East Coast. I forget where it's at. I'm thinking.
Okay.
But it fucked up all the wildlife.
Yeah.
There was like glass in the ocean.
Well, it's a giant circle of life, man. So you need the birds, right, to create wind, and the wind creates the windmills. But
wait,
the windmill,
what?
Yeah, that's how that works.
Wait. I think step one, we're already off on step one. Yeah.
Birds flapping wings creates wind.
That's
wind
wrong.
Is needed for the windmills to actually move.
That's not always true either.
But the windmills then kill the birds and thus killing the windmill. And now...
Do they actually kill birds?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure a bird or two had flown into... I mean, windows kill birds.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if it was like a big problem or not.
Depends who you talk to.
Yeah, but dude, when that windmill broke...
There's glass in the ocean because of the windmill breaking?
Yeah, well, you know, like the turbines or whatever. The big ones.
So is it ocean? Like a windmill in the ocean?
I guess it was in the ocean. Or it must have been near. I actually don't know, but it was a big problem.
Yeah.
There was like... It was just killing fish and shit. Yeah. But anyways, I digress.
What are you digressing to?
I'm digressing to the fact that birds are sweet.
Nope,
and
that's the opposite of digression.
No. I digress off my windmill point back to the bird point.
Okay.
That is exactly the definition of digressing.
I think it's like regressing.
I'm regressing. I don't think so.
I don't know English.
Yeah, me neither. I have all these words now in my...
Yeah.
I started reading.
That's good.
There's a lot of words I don't know.
So you continuing your current series, or you mixing it up? Because I actually have... I know
we're going to read Moby Dick?
I want to talk to you about that.
Okay, let me finish my bird point.
I'm sorry. Finish the bird point.
Birds,
Yep.
I think, are my favorite animal species. Is that a species?
What?
Yeah.
That's news.
That's not news.
That's news.
Or maybe it was an epiphany. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, look, penguins have always been my favorite animal.
Yeah.
They're a bird. I don't know if you knew that.
I do.
But I also love a whole bunch of other birds. Like crows are pretty sick. And I talked about that on the podcast several times.
Crows are
They're one of the smartest animals on the planet.
scary. Yeah.
And then some of them have blue throats, or necks, as I call them.
Crows do?
No,
Okay.
but the warbler.
If they're dark enough, like Batman.
But you got finches, you got hawks,
Yeah.
you got robins, which is my mom's
Also
name.
Batman. Yeah.
Kind of Batman adjacent, I would say. But
Court of the Owls. I can't. You know what? I can
I'm
get
not
behind
a
that.
huge owl guy. Some of them are cool.
Owls are cool.
You like owls?
I like owls.
But that's what I'm saying. They're so different. There's a bunch of different kinds, and they're pretty sick.
yeah,
They're pretty awesome. Yeah, you got turkeys, dude. You got ducks. If you're into
Pheasants.
ducks,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't have them into ducks.
some people are.
Yeah.
And then that counts. Swans,
Yep.
goose.
Yep.
You know, I'm just naming birds now.
I know.
But my point
this is super easy for the
point-
chapters of this.
woodpeckers. I have a woodpecker in my backyard.
Oh, not where I thought you were going with that one.
And the point I'm trying to establish is there's so many birds, and they're all pretty sick. They're all pretty cool.
So you are a bird guy.
I'm kind of a bird guy. I'm getting there.
All right.
Bought my
So
mom
you're-
a
So
book.
you're gambling, bird watching, video game loving,
Yeah.
anime loving.
Okay.
Tell me.
I don't want that on the record, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So
It's just
my point
putting
is,
things out there.
we
Yeah.
should actually read that next week because the article was super long and there's a lot of charts, and I think that would actually be a fun discussion.
About why women don't.
Well, there was a study conducted where women, it was for women and men. So women would say what they find the most attractive hobbies and then least attractive.
Yeah.
And then men also did the same thing of what they think women find the most attractive and the least attractive. And compare the two.
Gotcha.
And then they broke it down by like categories. So there was like physical activities, and then there was like artistic activities, and there's this whole.
What constitutes where's the line between like a hobby and a job and different things like that? Because I could see where it's like, oh, video
Hobby's
games as a
something-
hobby is just like you're lazy, you're sitting on the couch playing video
Yeah.
games. Video games is like a job where you're like critiquing them, or you're on like a IGN or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that move the needle, or is that?
I don't
not-
know. I would have to read the exact summary of the article of what the parameters were.
If you have it, send it over because I
Yeah, no, I was just looking at it while we were in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it'd be cool to talk about. So we should
Definitely.
put that on the list. But my hobbies aren't looking good.
in conclusion.
Conclusion, my hobbies aren't looking
Okay.
good. I need to get
All right.
I need to get a hobby.
Or you need to find a different caliber of lady,
I need to find a bizarro lady.
a nerd lady, someone who sees all those hobbies as a strength.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Minus the gambling.
I was talking to
I
the-
don't think gamblers should date together. I think that's a problem.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right about
Yeah.
that. I do agree with that one. But I was talking to this chick, and I told her, well, she was like asking what I like to do, and I told her video games, and you should have just seen like
Yeah.
it was over.
Yeah, just looked right through you.
You know, bringing it back to Battleship, my Battleship was sunk at that point. Dude. It was.
Okay.
I've never seen it so
Just a
quickly.
one hit. Yeah.
It was like they cheated, nuked the whole board.
Yeah.
and I had no ships left.
Her loss. Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, she was like an outdoorsy kind of,
Yeah.
productive member of society.
Probably likes frisbee golf.
No, definitely not. She probably found that she likes like shooting, and she's like she has a farm, or she had a farm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we knew. Yeah, we talked about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
Anyways.
just keep that hold up inside.
Yeah, just never tell anyone.
Yeah, just wait till you're married, and then surprise. Here's all my video games in my anthology of Berserk. Don't read that first page.
Yeah. That's a rough first page. All right. Speaking of which, have you finished Berserk?
Nope.
All right, great. So the video game list is coming right after that last page
Of the first.
of the first
book?
volume. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Perfect.
Done.
All right. You were gonna say something.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Are we serious that the official Couch Company book club
I don't think Jeff wants to do a book club.
That's fine.
But we can do a book club.
Yeah. I mean,
how many pages? Isn't it long as hell?
I don't know. You give him a little book. It's
a little book, but it's
which
mighty.
I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
You sent Jeff a copy of Moby Dick for his birthday.
Yeah.
That's great. That was really funny. But it looked small. It didn't look large.
I didn't send Jeff. He ordered it.
He ordered it?
Yeah.
I thought you sent it to him for his birthday. Okay, well, that would have been great.
It would have been great. But
Jeff got Moby Dick. He has to read it now.
he's going to read it. I don't think he wants to discuss it.
What? Dude,
I don't know.
What
It's
does
a lot
that
of
guy
pressure.
do that he doesn't want to discuss? Jeff, you want to discuss it.
I don't
He's listening
know.
right
I don't
now.
know.
Okay, well, I won't put words in his mouth, but he definitely
I'm
wants to.
trying to. Maybe I misconstrued that. There was something he didn't want to discuss, but
He didn't want to commit to something that he couldn't guarantee to do, which is awesome because we commit to everything.
Yeah, and I didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we get halfway.
Well.
Anyway, all I'm saying is if we want to do Moby Dick, I'm 100% on board.
Yeah.
We'll do Moby Dick.
Yeah, we should.
Okay. So that is officially
I feel
our
like
first
before
book.
you die, you have to read Moby Dick.
Okay.
I feel like that's one of the things.
Sure.
You don't think so?
I would say maybe go to the Grand Canyon.
Over reading Moby Dick?
I think so, yeah.
What's easier to accomplish?
Well, it depends where you live.
Ooh.
Where's the Grand Canyon at? Arizona?
Yes.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know.
It's in the
So
west.
actually, I'll tell you what. It's probably easier to read Moby Dick. If I had to like walk out my front door right this second and go find the Grand Canyon.
Well, you can use technology. Just like I can use
Okay.
technology to order Moby Dick and read it the same
That's
day.
fair. I wonder if we have Moby Dick. Anyway, getting off track. I want to read Moby Dick as their number one.
Okay.
Official
That's my pick.
first. That's fine.
And then you can pick.
So, Jason Schreier,
Who's
the
that?
reporter, games reporter guy, he just wrote a book. It's coming out on the 8th.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be about the rise, fall, and future of Blizzard Entertainment.
That's your pick?
That's my pick.
That sounds even worse than Moby Dick.
I think it would be very interesting.
Oh, God, I'm regretting this.
I
don't know. I think reading about a whale sounds interesting.
Okay.
Well, he's trying to. I think we're reading about a sailor
Trying to get the whale.
get a whale.
Yeah. Is Moby the whale or the sailor?
I don't know.
Okay.
Isn't the first thing "Call Me Ishmael"?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never read it, but that's
Me
gonna
neither.
be-
But it's a famous start.
What's the cadence of book reading? How are we doing this?
We read a book.
No, I understand that, but
Okay.
book clubs are typically like, hey, we read the first X amount of chapters.
Oh,
or
shoot.
something
Yeah, that's
like
a good
that.
point.
Yeah, like week to week. I mean,
Do we do that? I think we just read the book.
buddy, we have to have milestones.
We have to have
check-ins.
milestones,
Yeah.
but we don't do that for video games.
I know. That's why we haven't played as many games this year.
But we've never done that.
I know.
We played a bunch last
I'm
year.
just telling you how book clubs work, man.
Look, why do we have to do what everyone else does?
Because for reading Moby Dick, you have to be classic. Now, if you were to say, "Oh, we're going to read something different than Moby Dick," and something
Like
that's a
Blizzard
little bit-
Entertainment?
yeah, if we're going to read Blizzard Entertainment, then that would be
Yeah.
different.
Would it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't care. What do you want to do? What are you feeling?
I don't know how many pages is Moby Dick.
872.
That sounds terrible. I'm gonna look.
Why? What if it's the best book you've ever read in your life?
Impossible.
What do you mean it's impossible?
I've already read the best book. I've
That
ever read in my
can't
entire
be
life.
impossible.
It's not better than the Bible. All right, here we go. Let's see, Moby Dick.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
Is it the best book you ever read?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, it's the number one seller. Dude, there is everything in the Bible. The Bible is wild.
It is wild.
It's crazy.
You definitely don't see it coming either.
Yeah, usually not.
Right.
Okay, Moby Dick
Yep.
has 3.5 stars on Goodreads. You would think it'd be higher, right?
Dude, Goodreads, I think they're a bunch of scumbags.
Whoa. You just said that Goodreads was a great app.
Yeah, I think the reviewers are a bunch of scumbags.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Like, all the classics are, like, super downvoted. They hate them all. I think they're just mad because they had to read them in high school or something.
378 pages. Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, we could do that.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
I don't know, dude. Like, there's this website I'm using called Greatest Books something.
And Moby Dick's on there. That's why.
Of course it's on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what rank it's at. So the website is thegreatestbooks.org. And this person has this really complex algorithm based
Okay.
off of a ton of factors. You can actually read it on their website.
Yeah.
Like how often this book's mentioned in professional lists and blah, 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 whatever. Like how much it's bought and sold or whatever. And each category is like weighted. And then he created an algorithm and then whatever. So
What's the top 5?
the greatest book of all time, according to his algorithm, is The Great Gatsby,
Okay.
which I thought was shocking.
Sure.
2 is In Search of Lost Time.
Never heard of that one.
Me neither. And then 3 is Ulysses.
Interesting.
And then 4 is 100 Years of Solitude. And then 5 is Catcher in the Rye.
Wow.
People hate Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Because that's Holden, right?
I
Holden Caulfield.
That's the only one I've. Well,
With the
I
hat?
think I read Ulysses, or I cited it in one of my book
I
reports.
heard Ulysses is like one of the hardest books to read.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
I don't know.
It's
I never
difficult?
read it. I just cited it.
Moby Dick's got to be on here somewhere. Number 9. Moby Dick.
Where's See, Great Expectations was okay. Red Badge of Courage was good. I liked Robinson Crusoe is still one of my favorites. Where he's like just shipwrecked on a cannibalistic island.
Yeah. Like Lord of the Flies.
Three Musketeers. I never saw Lord of the Flies or watched it or
It's a
read
book.
it or
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a movie too.
Bible's 24.
See that makes me question that list.
I don't know. I mean, you can see how he's weighting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Anyways, I feel like I have to read Moby Dick, and that's why I picked it.
Okay.
So that is my.
Do you want me to give you my here? I'll tell you what the book is we're gonna read right after Moby Dick.
Oh man,
Here we go.
so not looking forward to that.
I bet you any money Jeff is 100% ready to.
Dude, he loves Blizzard. I'm not a Blizzard guy. That's why I'm like not into that.
All right. It is called Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment.
So what kind of book is it?
It's
Sounds like an article.
Yeah, it's non-fiction. He goes in behind the scenes and talks to all kinds of different people and stuff. Here, let me read you a synopsis.
Sure.
For video game fans, the name Blizzard Entertainment was once synonymous with perfection. The renowned company behind classics like Diablo, World of Warcraft, was known to celebrate the joy of gaming over all else. What was once 2 UCLA students' simple mission to make games they wanted to play launched an empire with thousands of employees, millions of fans, and billions of dollars. But when Blizzard canceled a buzzy project in 2013, it gave Bobby Kotick, the infamous CEO of corporate parent Activision, the excuse he needed to start cracking down on Blizzard's proud autonomy. And then it just continues, but I don't know. Based on firsthand interviews with more than 300 current and former employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like journalism.
It's kind of like what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interested.
Okay. I'm happy you're interested.
Yeah. You really don't have to read it if you don't want to.
I'm interested in Moby Dick.
All right.
Not really. It might be the worst mistake of my life.
It's not the worst mistake, but it could be
Could be.
there. Could be up there.
But it could be the best decision.
You know what? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be.
Probably not, but it could be. All right.
I just like how I love birds. Let's hunt a whale. It's like the opposite of a bird.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
They're the
What's a bird's natural enemy?
Ooh, it depends on the bird. Probably humans.
Yep.
Dogs, giggling dogs. No, that's ducks. Duck hunt is
That's a
giggling
bird.
dogs. Although, is it the dog or is it just you? You're the one shooting the bird. The dog's
I
just
think
picking
the
up
dog
the body.
finds the duck though.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
He sniffs it out.
Well,
I've never played duck
life,
hunt.
in real
So
life,
how does duck hunt work?
you see the dog jump into the grass.
Yeah.
And he goes. "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
Yeah, and then the duck comes up.
Yeah.
So he's the catalyst.
He scares the ducks.
Yeah.
And then
the ducks would have
you
been
shoot
safe
them.
unless he was. He's crucial to the duck's demise.
He is.
He knows what he's doing. He's laughing at him,
Yeah.
or he's laughing at you when he missed.
He laughs at you if you can't hit anything.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I don't think you can shoot the dog. Probably not.
That would be kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I would highly doubt.
I bet there's a mod.
That's an old game, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they mod all kinds of old games.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Anyway.
yes, probably. Old Yeller mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
What?
Nothing. I never watched Old Yeller.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But I know the
You
premise.
know the end of it. Yes,
Right,
the point.
the end of it. Yeah. All right. So,
What do you want to talk about?
yeah, you played Shogun.
Oh, we're
Shotgun?
jumping into Shogun Showdown, which
Yeah.
I think you should play. And I
Nah.
hate saying that. I hate
probably
saying
not.
that. You don't want. Okay.
What is it about? Sell me on it.
It's
Sell me this pen.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
First off, it's free because I own it, and you can just play it. You don't have to buy it.
Okay.
Shogun Showdown is it's like did you ever play Slay the Spire?
No.
Okay.
That's the card game?
It's roguelite card
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But you basically you have this map and you kind of like go through and you pick between like attacking something or like buying stuff, and you go through a map and it's very like procedurally generated and you just go through it.
Yep.
Shogun Showdown is this 2D plane, and you are a shogun, I assume.
Yeah.
And you have different cards that have different attacks on them. And the card has the damage. It has what the attack does. So like you start out with like an arrow that can shoot far, or you have like two swords that can hit either side of you, like whenever you put it on. And basically everything you do, so if you move forward, that counts as an action. If you turn the other way, that counts as an action. If you load up an attack, that counts as an action. And it's this kind of game where like every action you do, the enemy is then doing an action right after you. So they're also moving and turning and loading up attacks, trying to hit you and stuff. So you can always see what the enemies are intending to do to you. And it's up to you to like dodge their attack, counter their attack, and try to like combo these things together where you could be like, okay, I'm going to load up like my blades where I can run over to this guy, and because the blade hits on either side of me, I can have my back to him and I know I can still hit him, but I also load up an arrow so I can get the guy on the end of the map on the other side. And you basically just kind of do this dance board after board as guys just keep spawning and you keep killing them and different things like that. And eventually go to a boss, you kill the boss, and you keep getting new weapons and upgrades and stuff. So it's like, oh, I'm upgrading my blade, so now they freeze people, or I get like a trap that I can lay down. So if they come in contact with a trap, they like get hit for 3 damage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it's all this stuff, and it's this roguelike because like obviously like you start out, you're fairly weak. You might get like 1, 2, 3 bosses in, and then you die, and then you have skulls from the bosses that you kill, trade those in for new, better weapons and new things open in the shop and stuff like that. And it's just a really well done, clever game where it's like there's many different combinations of things, and like, do you want to like capitalize on like one weapon that's like super powerful and super low cooldown and stuff? Because if you use your like arrow, right, it will take 4 moves or 4 actions from everybody before you can use your arrow again. But you can get that down to like your arrow is just always up. You can get the cooldown down. So it's just like a give and take on stuff, and it's like just really, really interesting and unique things. And I've played it like, I don't know, like 40 runs or something like that. I've been playing it a lot, and I always get a little bit further each time, and I always find something new each time, and oh, I could have done this. And I never feel like it's unfair, I think. So like a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about like Peglin, how it's like there's a huge difficulty spike and this guy's insane or whatever, and like nothing feels unfair. It's just like, oh, you screwed up here. Oh, you miscalculated the order of events. Not because of its RNG or not because, you know, like the boss has tricked you in any way. It's just like you messed up, and then that's why you die. And it's just like it's so fun. I don't know. Like I'm probably not describing it as well as I should be, but everyone that likes like a strategy, like I think Slay the Spire is a good way to do that. I want to say it's like what's that really grim one?
Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon. It's not quite like that, like because this one is I think the first game that's very much based on positioning and movement that I found, because it's like it's 2D and it's like there's maybe anywhere between like 5 and I'm making it so like 10 spaces, and like an enemy or you populate each space, and that's how many. It's like, oh, okay, I have this pike that will hit 2 spaces in front of me, or I have, like I said, the swords that go in front, one in back, and I have a scythe that only hits like the second space in front of you, not the first one. Mm-hmm. And then you have movement buffs where it's like, oh, you can smoke bomb and switch places with someone else and stuff. And the cool thing is, and you start learning this, is as enemies are about to attack you, right? Like they start flashing yellow. So it's like, okay, I know they're going to hit me next turn. And then if you kind of count the number of moves it takes to do different things, and you have something queued up where it's like, oh, I swap places with an enemy, those enemies are still attacking. So you can have them hit each other, and then you can get buffs of like, oh, if an enemy hits another enemy, do +1 damage or something like that. So you can like play and kind of make this build and be either like super nimble, or like there was one build that I did where I just stood in a corner and all my weapons had freeze on them and they had low cooldown, where it's just like they just kept spawning and I just kept instant killing them because I just kept freezing them for like 3 turns apiece and they just couldn't move.
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting and fun and cool, and I love it. It's a great game.
What's the priority level that I should play this at?
Oh.
Should it be the next game I play? Should it be?
No, you should play Star Wars.
Should I tell you what my priority is right now, and then you can slot it in?
Sure.
You want me to hit you in the face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
after
just tell me the
I
list.
do that, I will tell you the list. Just kidding. That would be kind of mean.
Assault.
I think it depends on how hard I hit you, no?
Actually, I read somewhere that assault was the aggression, like the visual aggression, like I think you're coming at me, and then battery is the physical punching. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay, so the next game on my plate is Astrobot.
Yeah.
That's a PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then after that is Star Wars. Then I have Wukong. Then I have Frostpunk 2. And then I have Little Guardsman. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get to all those, but that's the order right now. Now, I will say...
So, I'll tell you one thing.
I
want you to play Astrobot because I think we need to talk about Astrobot.
Okay, hold on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's also a wish list of things that haven't come out yet. So, Dragon Ball comes out on the 11th.
I thought you were not... I thought you weren't messing with Dragon Ball.
What do you mean?
I thought maybe it wasn't you that said that. Maybe it was Jeff or...
Dude, I've been waiting for this game my whole life.
Oh, well then, forget about it.
Yeah.
Is it multiplayer?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm going to love it, though. It's going to be awesome. Anyways, so that's coming out, and then Dragon Age is coming out, and then Call of Duty's coming out. So those are also 3 games, but I do not have them in the slots yet because they haven't come out yet. What?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, fuck.
Diablo.
Is that this year?
It's supposed to be December. And Diablo's coming out on a Tuesday.
All right. I'll add them. So add those 2. All right. So now where should I play this?
Okay, so Astrobot you should play because it's a quick game. I think it's a masterpiece, and we need to talk about it.
Right.
I think Star Wars you're going to like more than Astrobot just because of the nature of that game. And now that they just updated a lot of stuff to it, I think Star Wars is like a good... The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that's the only game that I am actually actively thinking about where I'm like, I want to keep playing that game. So I think that's good. That's good positioning.
Okay.
Wukong, I think, is a mistake. I do not think you're going to like Wukong.
Jeff says I'm going to love the game.
Yep.
Or
and
like the game.
And Jeff might know you more than me. Who knows?
That would be surprising, but you never know.
Wukong is good. I think I like it more than any game like that I've played in quite some time. I don't think you're going to enjoy it.
Okay.
I'll be also interested, like, how much do you beat your head against it before just saying, like, okay, I'm bouncing off of this. Also, I own it on my Steam account. Please use my Steam account because we can family share.
Yeah, I would
do
that.
Do that.
For that one, I would use yours because I don't know if I'm going to... Like, if I buy it, I'm definitely beating it.
Provided that Wukong developers unlock that in the Steam account. That's the thing, is like family sharing is up to the developer. So
interesting.
We'll have to see that. We can check it out.
Interesting.
So personally, I think Shogun Showdown, I like it more than Wukong. Little Guards, what did you have?
Frostpunk 2.
Frostpunk 2, I do not think you're going to
Well, I just put that on there because, again, that's a very highly rated game this year.
Yeah, I think Little Guardsman you'll probably get a kick out of more than Frostpunk 2. I'm not trying to insult the intelligence of your
You're
gaming.
kind of doing that.
You might love it. And if you do, I would love for you to give me a tutorial on it, because Frostpunk, like, I started it and I was like, I am not in the mental like headspace to figure this game out, because it just seemed very dense and just kind of threw you in there.
Yeah.
And maybe I just wasn't patient enough with it or something like that, but that was something. So you're not doing Hellblade at all, right? That's something
I'm not doing Hellblade.
Okay.
It didn't score high enough. If it scored high enough, I would have done it. But the thing is that it didn't.
So
then I didn't play the first one, so I didn't really have it. You know what I mean?
They give you a
I know,
recap.
But I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think Shogun Showdown maybe pull it up a little bit to like where you had Wukong, but if you're set on Wukong and you're going to try it out and everything, then
I'm not set on anything, dude.
I would play Shogun Showdown before Little Guardsman, because I think that is a better game. I'll say that. So like keep your list.
Well, if it's above Wukong, it would be above Little Guardsman.
Well, that's me personally saying that. I think Wukong is very good. It looks really good. It plays really well. There are a lot of things going for Wukong. I just don't think you're going to like that gameplay.
Jeff really wanted me to play Wukong, so that's why I had
a reason to do it. He's going to read Moby Dick, so it's the least you could do.
I wouldn't say it's the least I could do.
Yeah, I guess you could play World of Warcraft.
Something I could do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would never ever.
Yeah. Dude, I have like 7 games in the hopper right now. It's insane. So I have Cat Quest 3.
Yeah.
Actually, here I'll rattle off my things real quick, because I just put them all on here.
Yeah. I should be able to see yours because we're friends on here.
For what?
For your list.
For my list?
Yeah, right? Are you talking about on Groovy or no?
Yeah, Groovy, does it should update automatically. I don't know if it does that all the time. I already did Wild Bastards and everything, but I'm doing sort by recent. Oh, none of this didn't even.
Did you not order it?
This didn't update. Hold on.
Did you hit save when you updated it?
I did. Well, what I'm saying is I did, and Steam should auto add those.
Oh, I see.
Cat Quest 3, Rogue Waters, which is literally a roguelite pirate game.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
Sea of Change, which is like kind of like a little town
sea
builder
thieves?
thing. Well, kind of.
Okay.
SteamWorld Heist 2, which was on sale.
Okay.
Tactical Breach Wizards.
I love that
which
game.
is a tactical game. Dude, it's overwhelmingly positive.
Really?
Super high reviews. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's up there. And I think those are the main ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice little list there.
So I got like 5 there that I'm gotta try. And then I gotta do Tekken still. Gotta do the new episode. So
Yeah, I gotta do that too. That's free, right?
I don't know.
Oh shoot.
I don't know. Dude, you spent so much money on costumes. I feel like you have to.
Oh shoot.
Hey, Hachi's back. You gotta figure that out, right?
I do have to figure that out.
They're in hot water. I'm expecting them. So Heihachi's out. A new episode's out. New cosmetics and stuff like that. Which I saw the cosmetics. I'm like, you're absolutely buying this, you anime lover. And then
hey.
There's a new.
I thought it was like Halloween costumes.
Halloween costumes, but there's there's some.
There's more than one pack coming out.
Yeah.
Fudge.
They're the Halloween. It's
I
like
can't
Skull
afford
and
all
Bones
this
and
stuff. This is like all getting expensive.
I can't believe how.
I thought there was
You
gonna be
bought
like
every
4 or
single
5
one.
that come out this year, and it's like it'll be like $20.
This is how they get the money, man. Yeah.
That's not good.
Wow.
Tell you that.
They so they have that, and then they have a level. The level's $5. Even if you have the season pass and you have everything else, even though Lydia came with a free beach
I'm
level
not buying
and
the
everything.
level, dude. That's
Neither
ridiculous.
am I. Unless I play it because I'm sure it's in the episode, right? Like they have to have that in there.
Yeah. It's like the temple. I
If
think.
it's in there and it's like the coolest level in the world, which I can't imagine it being.
How is a level the coolest level in the world?
I don't know. I do not
Dude,
know.
that's dumb.
You know what they should do? Like in all
Make
honesty,
it free?
Yeah, but what they should do is pull a Call of Duty and just start pulling levels from older games. And they have a couple that are
Could you
like
imagine
redone things.
Jin versus Heihachi on Terminal?
Yeah,
That'd be sick, dude.
sure.
That'd be
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, Terminal's Battlefield, isn't it?
No. No. Cheeseburger?
No.
Okay.
Was it Modern Warfare 3?
No.
2?
Yes.
Oh, sure. All right. Anyway, I played a little Heihachi.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about it, but he's
I thought we were talking about it. It's on my
slower
list.
defensive. Yeah, I didn't know if we wanted to wait till we both played the episode. We'll talk about it again. We used to talk about Tekken every day.
Yeah. What a game.
I'm excited to play him. I'm excited to see how I fare against you, like at least knowing Nina's moves, and then like maybe getting a round or two off of you just because you're not used to fighting him. And then as soon as you know his moves, I'm toast. But
you were really beating me up the other day.
Oh, the last time we played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were.
Well, I started getting back into my bag. Like, yeah, early on, but we always do that. Like, we start, and I might get a few games off of you, and then you start, oh, I remember your bad habits, and then you just start whooping on me.
I don't think I was.
No, we traded.
I think we was trading.
I was happy with the last time we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure you were. You won like 5 straight on me.
But Heihachi, like, he's slower. He's beefier. He's more defensive.
Yeah, but all that Paul practice got you ready for that kind of play style.
You actually, you know what? Yeah. I'm very concerned because typically for me to beat you, I gotta go low a lot.
Yep.
Heihachi does not have
no good lows.
He has a couple that I know I can pull off on you, but the moment like he really telegraphs it.
Yeah.
And in 7, there's 2 options because there's a mix up. You could either do like this kind of like he goes like behind his back, is like the back 2, and he does like a low hammer fist thing that would like kind of make you fall over.
Yeah.
But if you block low and you keep seeing that, he has the same animation, but then does an uppercut.
Oh, jeez.
So like you could just spam that, and you would never know which one I'm going for, and just mind games and things like that.
Yeah.
His jabs are faster and they're positive frames and everything. So it was like -1 or something, and it was really fast. And in this, it's like they just nerfed his entire strategy from that game.
Yeah.
And I was watching a couple of videos, and they're trying to say like, oh well, Reina is the rundown person now, and she's going to do like the super fast like attacks and things and whatnot. And it's like, sure, but man, Heihachi looks so cool. Like he looks like all his animations are awesome.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing is his heat, not in his engager, but like his kind of like finisher thing.
Yeah, his
like
burst.
His
he burst.
He has 2 of them. So he has the one that's just like if you just hit it and he does a normal thing like punch, like uppercuts you and then slams you into the ground or whatever.
Okay.
But he's another one that if you press forward while you're doing it, he just does like 1,000 punches on you, and it looks so bad.
Damn, dude. How does he get 2? That's crazy.
Dude, he has that. He has like this ultimate Heihachi thing that if he gets 3 stacked tokens, he basically just like
wins,
goes God mode, and just starts like blasting things and stuff. So like,
people were complaining that he's like super busted.
He can do the thing where he like pound, like if he's in heat, he can like pound the ground and like electricity just shoots up out of the ground and stuff. And it's pretty cool. Dang. Like he just looks good.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm very excited to try it out. And like there's the online practice mode, so we can actually like kind of like mess around.
Yeah, I'm
with
really
each other
excited for that. Really excited for that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, dude.
So many games, dude. And then like I said, like Diablo's coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah, I should get that. We could play through it again. I would just play through the like new content, like the story stuff.
Would you do so? I'm obviously gonna play the new class.
Yeah.
Would you like? You're good with playing the same, like the new class, just to?
No, I'll do whatever. I don't care.
No, I'm giving you.
It's all new to me. So I only played Rogue, which I really did like the Rogue.
Yeah,
Rogue's probably the best class.
My favorite so far in 4 is the Barbarian.
Really? That was the first one you did?
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's not what I would have expected.
I hated the Necromancer. I got really powerful with the Necromancer. I got to level 100 with everything except... actually, the Barbarian's the only one I didn't hit at level 100.
Is the Necromancer where you can just sit there and your army attacks?
Depending on the build, yeah.
Okay, I might do that then. That sounds good.
You could do that.
I can read Moby Dick while we're playing.
Well, yeah, sure. You could do that.
You think?
Yeah. Can you read it out loud?
No.
Oh. No.
That's funny.
What else is going on? What's the
I think that's everything on your list. I don't know if you wanted to touch on Zelda at all, but
Yeah, do we want to do early impressions of Zelda? It's your first Zelda.
it's my first Zelda ever, which there were Zelda fans in the room when I said that, and they were not happy about that statement.
Do you think they were less happy with that being your first Zelda or less happy with me saying Link's Awakening is a bad game?
This being my first Zelda for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
At least Jeff was like, oh, okay, I could see why you're not vibing with Link's Awakening. But this being my first Zelda, that's a choice.
Yeah.
And he wasn't happy with it. He wasn't happy with that choice. So
what's a good first Zelda?
I don't know.
Like Link to the Past, probably, but
I think that's what they said, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought Ocarina of Time was the best one that everyone said, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
That's considered still a perfect. I think it's like a 99 on Metacritic. It's up there. It's
really?
like one of the best games ever made.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why didn't you play that one?
I started it.
And?
It's
better than Link to the Past?
No. So here's the problem.
Uh-oh.
The problem is I could buy an N64 controller for the Switch and play it the way it's meant to be played.
Right.
I don't want to.
Why not?
It's just like for one game. I don't know.
Can you 3D print an N64 controller?
I'm sure you could. Who's gonna? You got to put the electronics in it though.
Oh shoot! There's a flaw in my plan.
There's a other component. Yeah.
There's parachutes in the
I actually paid the $40 online Nintendo's. Like I did it right. I didn't even get the ROM or anything like that. I did it right. And it just controls poorly.
Yeah.
Because
of the
an
nubs.
N64 controller. Like, it's not,
The N64 is like the weird one, right?
With the one joystick. And
That might be the worst controller of all time.
It's up there. I personally hate the GameCube controller, but I know a lot of people love it. It depends on your, like, I guess.
I don't love it, but I'd rather have a GameCube controller than the N64, dude. That thing is just, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing about that is good.
Yeah.
It's just a nightmare.
Well, you're supposed to use it for, like, if I was going to
do you imagine playing a fighting game on that?
Yeah, I mean, isn't people use that for Smash Bros. Still, right?
Really?
Yeah.
God, I thought they all used GameCube controllers.
I guess depending on your age group, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can get an N64 controller from Nintendo.
Like for Switch?
It hooks up to the Switch.
Yeah, well, you were literally just saying that I could buy it.
Yeah, but it just doesn't, like, why? You know, like, what's the point?
So you can play it authentically and maybe enjoy it. You think that would change your enjoyment of it? I don't think so.
I think so because the buttons don't line up.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The game itself, it's not like the game, like it's remapped or anything. It's like, oh, press the green button. And then I just have to like slam on all the different buttons on my controller and hope I find the green button.
Yeah.
I'm being a little, it's more like the shoulder buttons and stuff that just don't line up. And like.
So even the remake doesn't.
What remake?
I thought you bought like the official remake version or whatever.
It's not that's Link's Awakening.
Oh, okay.
So Ocarina of Time has not been remade.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time is just straight up.
That's
you're
surprising,
emulating the N64.
But you bought it officially.
Nintendo,
yeah. Okay.
I bought the Nintendo Online, which has all the.
Oh, is that kind of like what PlayStation's doing?
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
But Link's Awakening is like, to Jabo's credit, he was like, "Oh, this is like a 1-to-1. It's exactly the same thing, except it's like better graphics." And it's like, okay, but like. The quality of, you could still do quality of life. Like, I don't think that if you could hotkey like different items on the D-pad, because the D-pad is just straight up not used in that game, period.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to be a lesser experience. Like, if you don't want to use it, don't use it, or at least give the option. But it's like, oh no, you can only hold 2 items and you have to swap between them. So you have to pause the game and flip it over and then unpause the game and do it. And it's just like, why do all of that? And I think it's just this really like kind of opaque like game that like it's not like the game design has come a long way, and I get there's like nostalgia for it and things like that, but I fully believe that if I had played that game on Game Boy or wherever, I think it came out on Game Boy, whatever the old retro system was for it. I would have had a much better time because at least in my mind, it'd be like, okay, I can see the limitations. I can see what they did. Oh, that's really cool. Wow, I can't believe that they packed all this into a little cartridge like that or whatever. But with this, it's like you remade this game. Like, who is this game for? Like, is it for, Ryan, who is like, oh, I love this game. all I wanted was this, but with better graphics and stuff. It's like, cool, you got it. It runs like crap, and depending on if you like the art style or not, like whatever. But like they didn't do anything with it, and it feels old and clunky, and it doesn't control well. I think it's a bad remake as remakes go. But you can't even call it a remake because it's like they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, every flower's in the same spot. Cool. Then you made a
it's a remaster.
Yeah, like it's like a highly stylized remaster.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know. It was not good. So I didn't have I was worried because the Echo of Wisdom or Echo of
Tears of the Echo, I think.
Tears of the Echo. No, that's not right.
No?
Echo, I think it's Echo of Wisdom.
Echo I don't know. Yeah, I guess
whatever the new Zelda game is where
there's
you actually
Echo
play
in it.
Zelda.
I do know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried because it's the same art style, same everything.
Yeah.
But it it's like the movement is night and day better. Like it actually it has a mini map on the bottom corner. How novel is that? Oh, it has a map that actually is like a useful map. How novel is that? Oh, it uses the D-pad and you can actually hold more than 2 items or whatever. And it's just like
hold 1 million items.
Yeah, but it's like they did. You could. Well, what I mean is more
the actual items,
like the hotkeys on like, oh, I'm gonna pull out my sword and do that, and I'm gonna swap.
Yeah.
So it's just like I think it's a better. I'm enjoying it. So generally speaking, I was worried, but even though it's the same art style, and I was worried, I'm like, oh, I just went through all this. Is this going to be like too samey where it just looks all the same? I think the environments already look drastically different, and it's. I think it runs better. I know you were saying you were getting some hitches.
I was getting a little stutters, yeah.
I think Link's Awakening was just so bad that I just got used to it. So like I haven't noticed anything yet.
Interesting. Okay.
But what do you think of it as your first Zelda? I'm sorry, I know.
I think it's all right. I think I angered the group of people we were with when I was saying it's like a puzzle game. It's like disguising itself as not a puzzle game, but I think it's literally just a puzzle game. Maybe that's too one-dimensional, but yeah, I think it's all right. I like the concept of the game. I think it's cool that you kind of learn all these different things that you can summon, and then because there's like seemingly an infinite amount of ways to approach all these different things, you know, like to get on top of stuff or to solve a certain puzzle or something, or to fight enemies. You kind of like learn like, oh, you know, they're weak to this type of enemy, and then you can kind of strategize like that.
Pokemon thing.
So I think that's what I like about it, is kind of the uniqueness of the game, of like everyone's experience can be very different. Like our playthroughs are going to be, you know, we're not going to approach things the same way. So I think it'd actually be like interesting to look at two people play the game and see how they kind of think through what they have available to them, and then how they utilize that to solve the, you know, things in front of them. So that's cool. I don't know if I'm vibing with the art style. I don't think it looks bad. I just don't know if it's like, if I'm just vibing with it.
Yeah.
It's like it's like kind of cartoonish, but I don't know. But like the story, like I just don't give a fuck about the story at all.
Interesting. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Am I crazy? Like, it just seems so not interesting to me. I don't know if I'm like not.
No, I don't think I think that's a fair criticism, at least right now. But like, I don't think Zelda stories are ever like there's some lore there. So like, that's like Skyward Sword lore and different like when you actually go in and you're like, tell me all the history of Zelda and Link, and there's like timeline things and like, this Link is part of this branch and this and this and this and all these different things. That's cool to me.
Yeah.
But the game itself is like, oh, there are riffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, evil. I'm very early in it, so I'm sure it opens up and then it's, you know, it's going to be more interesting, but I haven't found the hook yet.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. It just seems really, like the way I kind of describe it seems like a children's game kind of.
Yeah.
Like very straightforward. Not in terms of like the gameplay, just the narrative.
Yeah. It's not very adult or like thoughtful.
Not that I, need something that's like crazy adult or like blood and gore or anything, but I don't know. It just seems like kind of like a children's book where it's like, oh, here are the bad guys, and here's what we're trying to do, and it's very kind of
No, when Pokemon has more of a story, that's probably a problem. Or something that's a little bit more engaging or whatever.
I don't know. But again, I mean, obviously there's a long way to go. Well, the game's not too long, but there's, I'm still at the early stages. But yeah, I think it's all right.
How did you, so you said you finished the desert part.
Yeah.
Because essentially whenever the game somewhat opens up, you can pick either go to the desert or go up north. For the desert, and like you had to get like collect 5 orbs or something in that one rift and all that stuff. Yeah. What did you use to get the ones up top?
The spider.
Yeah.
That crawls on walls.
Yep.
You summon that, and then I link to it, and then there's a button where you can switch. So there's a tether that you can kind of latch onto objects and drag them. But there's a button that you can hold while you're latched onto it, and then if that object moves, you go with it. So it keeps yourself still. I'm describing it for the audience. Yeah. I know you know this. That's the most broken way to get anywhere in that game.
Yeah.
So far. I literally let that guy go. He crawls up any surface and then I ride up. Yeah.
So I forgot that I got that.
Yeah.
And I spent probably an hour doing every other possible thing to solve that.
Yeah.
Where I was trying to I'll make this ramp of beds and then a trampoline at the end to jump bed, and stuff. And
the bed ramps.
I literally had
bed bridges.
A bed bridge.
Yeah.
And I threw a bird out. And I tried to jump, throw a bird out, tether to it, and have him kind of fly to get to it. And I was getting it doesn't. And I was getting so frustrated. And then I just happened, because the only spider I remembered was the one with the web, where it's it just shoots
That's
it up.
another really good one. The spider's kind of OP.
It is if you have a ceiling, and if the ceiling's low enough.
Like if you're in a dungeon, that's how I get to any floor. I just use that little guy, his little web.
But it's it's just learning that stuff. And I think that one of the shortcomings of the game, at least right now, is just your options to summon things balloons so fast, so quickly.
Oh my gosh. It's I wish I could categorize them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because there's a bunch of statues you get and stuff.
Yep.
That you never use. There's a bunch of pots and stuff that I've never used once.
And you get different types. So it's here's a pot. It's 3 different pots. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Why?
You think they're doing maybe they'll come back later, but do you think they're doing that to pad how many? Because they were saying there's 1 million echoes in this game or whatever. You think they're just padding the stats? Or
I would like to believe that there are going to be some higher thinking, higher cerebral puzzles where it's if you use the green pot here, it will solve it, but if you use the white one, it won't. I don't know if that's the case. I'm hoping that there's a reason behind all this stuff.
Some of them I see what they're trying to do, but it just doesn't work. Like the slab of meat.
Yeah.
You use to entice some of the enemies.
Yeah.
It's easier just to kill the enemies.
Yeah.
It's easier just to summon another thing to just wipe them out.
Yep.
Than to move. So maybe there's a stealth mission later on where I got to move people around, but right now it's
and while it's cool to throw out other the enemies that you can summon, then kill other enemies. It's very Pokemon-esque. It's still not as fun as being Link. And I don't Link, Zelda. I don't care, but it's not as fun as turning on your sword and just going and beating up dudes with the sword and the shield.
Definitely wish there's I could cast a spell or something. Because a lot of the time I'm just sitting there watching these monsters battle.
Yeah, and it's all RNG. I'm
not doing
anything. Is this going to hit first?
I'm trying to avoid their attacks while my guys try to get them. I wish there was something else I could do.
One of my main go-tos at this point is I take the pea shooter guys, the little red guys that shoot the rocks.
Yeah.
And I'll just spam 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they stack on top of each other.
Yeah.
And then it's a machine gun volley of just attacks and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's early on. I want to play more of it. And, I'm obviously going to beat it, but I Breath of the Wild I think is my favorite Zelda. If I'm being
I should have started with that one, but I didn't have a Switch at the time, so I didn't.
Breath of the Wild is an excellent thing.
Yeah.
But again, with the story, I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just people love Zelda so much.
Yeah.
Right? As evidence of the room yelling at me for kind of shitting on it, which I was harsh on it. It's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I do think it is there's a lot of puzzles in it, so like it is verging on puzzle category. I know that's what I'm saying. I will say though, the puzzles are intuitive and they haven't pissed me off yet. So like we're doing good as far as puzzle games go. Like, this is the best we can hope for.
If you played Link's Awakening, you would
die.
You would have quit.
Yeah, probably.
Without a guide, you would have quit.
But
because it sucks.
I'm not afraid of using a guide.
Yeah. Well, it kind of it makes it even less fun if it's just
using
like,
a guide.
Go here, grab this, do this. Because like the reason why the dungeons and stuff are like tough is because you missed this thing here, and I got to backtrack and redo it, and it seems larger and more complex than it really is.
Yeah,
like if you have a guide, it's like you knock out a thing in like 2 minutes and you move on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe Link's Awakening was a time and place kind of thing.
Definitely, but that's my point, and this is why I get so pissed off with remakes and remasters and everything else. Is like that's a cash grab. Like you're not doing anything with it. Like it's just like, oh look, it's Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
it's a classic thing.
You get upset with the remasters.
Yeah.
A true remake
would have
reimagines the game
better. Yeah,
right.
Which someone will have to tell me about Link's Awakening, where it's like there's literally a dungeon maker in Link's Awakening in the remaster.
Okay.
I don't know if that was in the original Link's Awakening, that's actually very impressive and that's cool. I don't know if it was or not. Like it seems hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, cool.
I'd be
like,
surprised if it was.
You do enough of that and you tweak that and you tweak the bosses and you give this boss an extra thing here and you do. So like they're not afraid to tweak some stuff.
Yeah.
But like all the quality of life or the cool things that you could do with it, it's like, oh no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least the new Zelda has like a lot of like fast travel points and
I got like all the desert fast travel points and I was just zipping around but like I don't know, you're like helping out this tribe in the desert and I'm like
well, the cool thing with that tribe is
what?
And this is just for me watching the history of Zelda, is like that was like, you know, no men allowed type of thing.
Yeah.
So now that Zelda is obviously a woman, she could like walk freely and talk.
Oh, interesting.
And stuff. So it's like
that obviously makes sense. Yeah. So you're saying you usually can't go there when you're Link?
I think you have to be disguised, or I don't know. I didn't play it, but something like that. Because I think it's using the Link to the Past map.
Okay.
Or like it's not exactly a one-to-one.
Dude, I have no idea. I don't know anything about Zelda.
It's
Legend
wild.
Zelda.
Like
it's a wild canon.
Skyward Sword, which is they do a Skyward Sword remake.
Is that a game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Okay.
Which came out on the Wii U?
I don't know.
Wii or Wii U.
Okay.
They did the HD version, so not remake, a remaster.
Yeah.
But that's like, I guess the first Zelda in the timeline.
Oh, they're like all out of order.
Oh, they're all over
it's
the
like
place.
super complicated.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Kingdom Hearts is pretty bad.
It's man. It's probably not as bad as Kingdom Hearts because like Zelda, you can just basically say like they're all different.
Yeah, right.
You're done.
I think like Kingdom Hearts just doesn't make sense anymore at this point. Yeah. Although I'm sure, I don't know. Like I was like kind of following along. I think when 2 came out.
Sure.
You know what? I scratched that. Even 1, like I played through 1, and I was still like, wait, what is actually going on? But
yeah, you just kind of roll with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I just liked when it was like Disney and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's a cool mashup.
Kingdom Hearts 3 just ruined it. They didn't have the Final Fantasy part of it. That was like the whole point of the game.
Oh yeah,
they got rid of the Final Fantasy piece because I think they said that like they solved it or something. Like you fixed Final Fantasy World, so like you don't have to go back. I'm like, dude, that's like half the battle here.
Okay.
I want to see Orin standing next to Mickey Mouse, bro.
And
like
Gears fixed
the whole thing.
Fixed the Locust Horde, but and Master Chief fixed the There's always another thing to
the Forerunners. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, I was watching this video today of Halo 3 voice actors.
Okay.
They were so good, dude.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I should send you that. It was a cool nostalgia.
Halo 3 it's
a great game.
One of the best ways to wrap up something. Like it's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was solid. I mean, the last mission of Halo 3, I'm pretty sure is the last mission of Halo 1, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, but bigger and better and like I mean
I guess sure. You're literally just driving a Warhog while
there's a reason why I would argue Halo is one of the it's one of the best games made. like of its time. It doesn't like does it?
Oh
hold up and
yeah,
everything, but it's like
yeah.
it had everything. It
Dude,
was
back
really,
in the
really
day,
good.
man, that
Yeah.
was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to touch on this article I sent you real quick.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to do that or not, but definitely.
Yeah, just real fast. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think PC Gamer put it out, but the CEO or whatever of Epic,
Yeah, Tim Sweeney.
Tim Sweeney, was talking about how Fortnite. So it's the same conversation that's been happening the past however many years, where there's a lot of people who are in the camp of, I guess, live service games. Is that fair to say? Is the future of games anything that's
I'd
not
say, like
single player?
Yeah,
narrative.
games as a service. Yeah.
Games as a service, like multiplayer, is the future of gaming, and single player games are pretty much on their way out, I guess, is like a quick summation of what he's saying, which has been like, that's been said for a long time, I feel like.
Yeah.
Ever since like Call of Duty, people are like, oh, single player games,
Yep.
why do that when you're just going to get on and play with your friends? Which is fair, because I think like, and the article mentions this, obviously if you're successful on any of these ventures, it's unbelievably profitable, more so than like any single player game probably can be. Like the ceiling's much higher.
Yeah.
I think the risk is also there too. Like you look at something like Concord, if it doesn't work, that is a huge money sink versus maybe a single player game. However, I think the aversion that these kinds of people that are saying like single player games are dying is the, crazy budget in which a lot of the AAA games at least like require. So to get a return on investment there, you need it to be insanely popular, or you need some sort of creative way to kind of
Well, so I think the big caveat there too is when you say return on investment, it's hitting the expectations of these companies that are like, oh, we put this out, we expect some astronomical number.
Yeah, because then they point to Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, look how much they're making.
Yeah.
Like, we want to do that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that's that's a big thing, is like, are companies just too greedy?
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you're looking at it from like word of mouth and just like clout, then I think that, yeah, it might not be like number of copies sold, but you do get and we talk about it all the time, like PlayStation just has better games than like Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right. Like, all the single player games they come out with, like, I'm going to say all, but you know what I mean? All the single player games they come out with are just bangers, and they're awesome.
Yep.
And we sink 60 hours into it. And then, to be fair, then you don't play them again. But that puts Sony on this pedestal above Microsoft, or above, and maybe not Nintendo, but it's still like puts them up there where it's like they're doing really well. Now, if Sony thinks, oh, this should make as much as Fortnite or whatever, I think that's a failure on their part, where it's like, look, you're not going to get that, but like, look at the other stuff that you're getting value out of, not just necessarily dollars and cents, which I know is crazy to talk about with a company because that's all they care about.
Right.
But it's just like, you mentioned Concord as a perfect example, where it's like, yeah, but then you're going to be swinging for the fences on trying to crack into an oversaturated market of what, like in its younger audiences doing, which I think it said in the article, but it's younger audiences playing those multiplayer games, and that's no different than us playing Call of Duty when we were younger. And there was absolutely a time when it was like, Call of Duty is just a staple. Call of Duty is going to be forever. It's like and then Fortnite just smokes it. Like, it's not even on the map. Like, it's silly. Like, you lose track of Call of Duty. It's crazy. And there are some people that play Call of Duty and it's their life, and same thing with Madden and different things like that. But it's not what it once was by any stretch.
No.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's silly to me to say like, oh, single players are out the door, because at that point, then it's like, oh, cool. Then you're alienating. Like, how many people continue to play video games? Like, if video games if all single player games are just gone and it's just Fortnite and Fortnite clones and everyone trying to chase that dollar or whatever, like, I wouldn't play that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, it's just this weird, like, okay, then you're just losing maybe that just naturally kind of changes into that prophecy of what he's saying, but like,
I don't think it'll ever be there, because I think when you lose single player games, I think you lose a lot of the art form that comes from video game. Like, obviously the storytelling piece of it, the character writing, a lot of these things that kind of traverse multiple planes of entertainment, like a movie or a TV show or a book, all have that shared fabric of, telling a story, which usually single player games do, obviously there's exceptions, but I don't think you'll ever lose that, because that's a huge artistic piece of it.
Yeah.
Which we've had as humans forever. Like, we're always going to continue to tell stories. And I think as long as video games is still a medium in which you can, it's still entertainment, I think we're going to continue to tell stories through that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be single player.
Look at the awards. Like,
yeah, right. Well,
like, all the awards
it mentioned Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate's a perfect example of a recent game that completely bucks the trend of what one would think you have to do to make a ton of money, right?
Yeah.
There's not microtransactions. There's like not any microtransactions, actually. There's no store at all.
Right.
There's
and
no
they're just doing free updates,
DLC.
free content.
They literally just, like, one of the few examples of a game that literally just harkens back to a time where you sell the game and that's how you make the profit.
Yeah.
And they did it, which is remarkable. But
yeah. I buck against this idea that it's like, oh, people are against single player games. That's why Star Wars didn't sell well. That's why this didn't sell well. That's why. And it's just like,
that's a poor argument.
I keep saying Star Wars is a very good game.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for you to try it, because I think from an immersion standpoint, it does Star Wars better than a lot of other Star Wars games do. But it has some flaws. Now, granted, they're patching some things in with the stealth and trying to fix some things and maybe stand over some edges, but it's like, make better games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, if the Spider-Mans and the God of Wars and the Horizons and everything, it's like, you're getting, like, there is a return on investment.
Yeah.
You didn't lose money making the game.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe it didn't hit your astronomical projection because you always have to go bigger and bigger and bigger and beat the bottom line. Like, they're doing it to themselves. It's not this sudden shift in the marketplace where, like, oh, we don't like, these games where, and does the article mention like Wukong and everything?
It did,
too?
yeah. So it mentions that this year in particular, you have your Wukong. Space Marine did really well.
And those are some like
Helldivers.
Well, Helldivers is like goes in the multiplayer direction, but like, and I guess even Space Marine, but like those are some like old ass games.
Yeah, but I think what the article is trying to distinguish between is a Fortnite is never going to get a Fortnite 2 theoretically.
Right.
It's just going to keep building on itself, like a League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like an Apex Legends. I don't know, like whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what. So I think what Sweeney was saying is that the future is going to look like you make a game and then you just keep enhancing that game.
Yeah.
So, which, look, I'm not against that either, right? Like, obviously, I've played a lot of League of Legends, and I think that style has a lot of merit to it because you're familiar with it. And
has League done like a graphical overhaul, or are they still on the same architecture of?
Well, they're in the same like engine and stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
the same like client and everything, which is, I don't know how they do it.
I'm not
like
saying
they have
you
done
can't.
like graphical improvements, but they're limited definitely by their.
And you're limited by your install base. You're limited by like that's the thing is like I'm not saying you can't iterate and evolve and do different things, but like Helldivers, you run the risk of taking a misstep and then your game that you like. It's very easy to be like, oh, here's Borderlands Tiny Tina's whatever.
Yep.
Oh, that didn't do well. All right, for the next one, for Borderlands 4, we're going to change some things and do whatever.
But if
it's like a games as a service and it's just like you're playing the Borderlands game and then you put that out and it's just like this is garbage, and then you just have people like saying like, you know, like look at Destiny, look at World of Warcraft. They had some, you know, stumbles and missteps and things like that, and like some games are bigger where it's like you could screw that up and still keep going.
Commit
but like,
to it, yeah. Well, Concord never got off the ground,
dead
dude.
out of
Like
the gate.
dead dead on arrival. And then they also mentioned the pirate game that came out this year.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, well, that's Ubisoft's thing of like, oh, it has to be multiplayer, it has to be online, it has to do that. It's just like, dude,
imagine if they made a tight pirate adventure game.
Yeah,
sounds fun.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, I don't know. Like,
let's go collect wood. Oh, let's go collect this. Let's start. Yeah. And it's just like, man, other indie games do it so much better, and it's like a megabyte download. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how like the passion and the talent is always going to just like outshine that, and then companies don't get that. So then you have all these like frustrated artists or frustrated developers or frustrated where it's just like, okay, well, we could do this, but our hands are tied because we have to continue like just crank content out. Like, studios are not set up to do Fortnite level like updates and different things like that. That just completely kills studio. I forget what game it was. That was like, hey, we got to take a step back. Like, we cannot keep churning this stuff. I think it maybe Apex Legends. I don't know. But it was like, they are not staffed for this. We can't do this. It's awesome we had the success, but like people get bored like that. Like they're not.
The expectations are really high. So
Horizon Online popped back up on one of the news articles I was reading. I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Where it's like, yeah, I wonder if Sony is like, yeah, keep going with that Horizon Online because Concord did so well. Instead of making a Horizon 3, you're going to try to do a Horizon Online.
Yeah.
Or you're going to do a Horizon remaster because, well, we may as well milk this for another, whatever. It's
I don't know. I think in summary, like, I don't think single player, like, it's just been a thing that always seems to crop up.
Yeah.
And I have yet to see that be the case at all. But I think the point of the article, or one of the main points, is that it's always impossible to like know what's gonna happen.
It's because kids dictate your freaking future. That's the whole thing. Is children literally dictate the market for that type of game.
Yeah,
like my nephew is dictating Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
and he's not playing I mean, he does, but he's on a Rainbow. He's on to Call of Duty. He's on to like quote unquote like older games, or he's bored of doing the same. Like, it's like whatever the reason. Children. And my nephew's getting older, so like his taste will change.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Whatever is
rapidly
hot,
yeah.
And like you have these like 30 to 40-year-olds, right? And I'll group you in that group where it's like, okay, like our lives are changing. I'm looking at single player games or quick roguelites or whatever because like that's where my life lets me play games. I can't sit down and grind for 9 years on World of Warcraft again or whatever it is. Like it's crazy and it will change, and like it's the fall of the Roman Empire again, where it's like Call of Duty at one point was the pinnacle, and then it's going to be Fortnite, and then it's going to be something else. And Fortnite didn't even, yes, it blew up and it was great, but that wouldn't have even been a thought in anyone's mind if it wasn't for PUBG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, right,
so like,
exactly.
That's the thing. It's like you don't know.
Yeah, you never know what the landscape's going to be like. And I think they brought up a good point in the article where it was like, because it was from PC Gamer, and I think they were saying something along the lines of people used to talk about PC being a niche, and now we see that the popularity has grown exponentially in terms of the amount of people who are getting PCs and getting into that gaming. You even have Microsoft, for example, that has a whole section of Game Pass dedicated to PC gaming. That would not have been like a thought in anyone's mind, I think, obviously, like 10 years ago, right? So, although Microsoft's always done stuff with PCs, obviously.
I just think companies really, like, they want an astronomical return on investment.
Yeah.
Ubisoft specifically, because I think Ubisoft is typically the company that's like, this was I wouldn't go as far as say it was a failure, but it's like, we expected more from like your...
never happy.
Like your Star Wars, your Tomb Raiders, your whatever.
What have they hit on?
Well, that's what I mean.
What's their biggest thing?
I don't know, like Rainbow, probably, in the recent risentimes or whatever.
That's not recent.
But they
it's almost 10 years ago.
Keep working on stuff, and they you put your Rainbow out.
Rainbow is. What about the Division? Is that
Division was Like it was a thing they put out. And it was good. I enjoyed it.
I was just am surprised Ubisoft's like so like it just seems like they're all, oh, we'll get them next time.
I think it was like the whole Star Wars pedigree and stuff. And I think they did something truly awesome. I just don't think like it wasn't a perfect game. Like I don't think the gameplay was very.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Wait, what's Star Wars?
Outlaws.
Oh yeah. Well, even the other one, didn't they do the other one too? Jedi Survivor.
No, that's EA.
Oh, okay.
That was back when they had the license for all the.
Oh, that's right.
That's Respawn doing it.
Yeah,
So it's like even that, like I don't know, like they're doing that, but this thought. And I'm not saying that it worked out exactly like this, but for them to see Star Wars and be like, oh, this didn't perform well, or oh, here are all the technical issues with this, or oh, people didn't like this, or oh, this needed more time to bake, and all these reviews are telling us that. Hey, this is like a rough game.
Yeah.
I guess we need to really give more time to Assassin's Creed. It's like, yeah, because companies are trying to push these games out and they're always broken. They're never running properly. There's always a Digital Foundry article about how frame skips and all this other, it's just like, it's always just trash. And then they're shocked every time. Like, oh, why didn't this perform? Or why didn't this do it? And they'll patch it and try to upgrade stuff. But it's just like, I don't know. It's
tough too because there's some instances in which it does get patched and then you have a really good result. So you're talking about Star Wars. I think the most prevalent example in my mind is Cyberpunk. That game is incredible now.
Yeah.
Like if you were to play it today for the first time ever, the 2.0 update, well, they're on like 2. Whatever now, but that is such an amazing game, the state it's in.
Yeah.
Now I think they spread themselves too thin. They were trying to get it on like you were talking install base. They were trying to get every install base, which like at some point, if you're gonna do a graphically demanding game, you gotta take some sacrifices and go like next gen or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this tough thing where it's like, yes, of course, I want you to fix the game if it comes out and it's not working. But I also want it to just come out and to work, right?
Absolutely.
But that's like slowly not becoming the expectation anymore.
No, the
everyone's
expectation
like, wow,
is
they really stuck with it and
it.
they fixed it up. That's like really great. And it's like you couldn't have waited another quarter. And it gets into the finances, right? Like you have your shareholders, like got to do it for the shareholders. And of course, that's where the money comes from. That's how it gets the funding. That's how these games can look so awesome and have such big worlds and whatever. But I don't know, man. It is weird. All that being said, single player games.
Yeah, tell me when a non-single player game wins Game of the Year. Now I understand Baldur's Gate technically could be multiplayer or whatever, but
I don't consider.
I'm talking like a Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever, something along those lines.
That's a great point, but yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was a popularity contest.
Yeah, Fortnite should win every time.
Right? Yeah,
but there's
a
reason why it doesn't. Like it's just
because I think it's like I think the awards are specifically kind of to my point is about the art, and not that Fortnite isn't art or whatever. I think they've done a really great thing clearly, but yeah, I don't know if it's like as
it's not telling a story.
It's not. Yeah, it's not telling a story. It's fun.
Sure,
it's got a lot of characters.
Yeah.
They got a lot of characters.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's very metaverse.
It is, metaverse. Well, yeah, I mean, the article was saying, too, the metaverse is the future, dude. It's, like, not there yet, dude, at all.
No, it's people that want to jump to that kind of dystopian, like...
Well, dude, nobody knows what the future's going to look like. Nobody knows what the future's going to look like, I think is the thing. There could be a renaissance of single-player games that happens... that it blows up, and the next generation of kids are just like, dude, we love.
Dude, what's that game that's like one of the highest rated things this year? Sorry, real quick. Let me look it up real fast.
What game?
It's 50 something.
50 Shades of Grey.
It's that's a game.
That is a popular book.
Or
movie or whatever.
It's,
I don't know what you're talking about.
UFO 50.
Oh, I have heard about that.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's literally 50 brand spanking new retro games. So it's like 50 new games made in a retro way, and it's just like it's blowing up, and
Just a
everyone
bunch
loves
of-
it.
yeah,
It's like, oh my gosh, this is just like fun stuff, and it's just like you
Yep.
never know. You
Right,
don't
right,
know.
right.
You look at Fall Guys, look at Among Us, look at all these things, and
Right.
like those are these flashes in a pan, but like none of them are going to be like, oh, that's why you buy a PlayStation. Oh, this is going to win Game of the Year. Like, yeah, it's going to win a novel thing or a category that was made just so it could win something because it was like a cool thing.
Right.
But it's like,
yeah, you got to make a statement or
that doesn't
do
mean it's going to just
unique.
completely like, because what's going to happen is if everyone went the multiplayer route or everyone's vying for your time, everyone is expecting you to play just their game and nothing else in perpetuity. Like, that's not how.
Yeah, I think like,
works.
Well, it's actually interesting though, because when you're talking about awards, I think like the Game of the Year game needs to be like something that's like really impactful, or, you know, that sticks with you or something. But the interesting thing about that is someone like Jeff really loves like a World of Warcraft because his perspective would be, well, when I'm playing with my friends and we're doing a dungeon and it's really tough and then we overcome it, that's the moment, you know?
Absolutely.
So maybe it is interesting why some of those games aren't considered Game of the Year.
Oh, two things is one, I think they should be for sure. Like, I think there are plenty of games that should be, and I think I sent you the article of like there's a very clear genre that the action adventure genre is just supersedes everything. Like you literally need Baldur's Gate to come out of nowhere. That's like developers are saying like, hey, this isn't achievable. This is
Doesn't
not
count.
a thing. We don't know how they did this. They're warlocks, whatever. It takes that to kind of break that into that kind of.
Laren's not huge either, are they?
They are. So I did look that up because when you're trying to do different like studios and different things like that, I think Larian clocked in at like 400 employees or something like that.
Okay.
And then I forget who I was comparing them to because somebody brought it up where it's like AAA versus indie versus I think it was I put it against BioWare, and I think it was like give or take 30 people.
Oh wow.
Okay. But they were fairly close in size. Like once you get to that high, it's like okay, like you know whatever.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I was at, where we were talking about like RPGs, and it's like, did Baldur's Gate just completely destroy like RPGs for the foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, you're looking at Dragon Age, and that's a very like action oriented thing, and like it has a story to tell and everything, which could be cool.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the same level of do anything. Because like for me, and I know we talked about this last year, where it's like Baldur's Gate completely destroyed. I mean, Starfield had plenty of other problems, and they still do with their expansion, which I think has like a 50 or something on OpenCritic.
Yikes.
They have plenty of other problems, but like Baldur's Gate compounded that because you could see what actual choice looks like.
Yep.
And it starts pulling that veil away, veil god, but it starts pulling that veil away from other RPGs where it's like, oh, here's a choice. It's like, nah, it's not really a choice. Like, okay, like it's not, like, you know. So who knows? I legitimately hope Dragon Age is good. I think it would be closer to my type of game with the kind of action RPG and movement and stuff. But do I have high hopes that it's going to like be Game of the Year? Like, not really.
Right.
I would love to be wrong there, but I think the direction of it has changed so much that I don't think they really know what they're doing. Anyway, all that being said, AAA game, Baldur's Gate, AAA game, similar studio sizes, like at what point when you're talking about like reviewing games or when you're talking about like comparing, contrasting and stuff, okay, here's two RPGs.
Yeah.
It's hard. You can't say, oh, Dragon Age was a scrappy 3-man studio that put this together.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's top tier or whatever.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, it's BioWare.
Yeah.
Like BioWare, they already dropped the ball once, and here's their next swing.
Yep.
You got to do something, because if they drop it again, like what do you know, like I don't know.
Me neither.
Nah, I'll shut up. But that's
No, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting argument.
I think multiplayer games are awesome, and the experience you have with friends is next level.
Yeah.
But in no way does that mean that like single player games are out.
Yeah.
Or like is at the end of the day, if every game was only multiplayer and you had to play with friends, it had to be this social thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you see a drop in players. I think you see like every game just dies on the vine because the market is so saturated that like short of maybe Valve coming out with their shooter that's like kind of like Concord but not Concord. Like I think they're high enough on the tier list of developers, or because Valve never puts out a game, it's like oh, okay,
everyone
like,
pays attention.
That had 100,000 people, and that's a closed beta. That's like the secret thing.
That's crazy. Dude.
Meanwhile, Concord can't hit 1,000.
I know. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. I just think that's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, for sure. I think Tim Sweeney's off the mark, but also if I had a company
when you have more money than God, it's like it's probably easy to think that way. That like everything else is dust but me.
Well, your company is literally doing Fortnite, which is the biggest thing ever, and he is obviously trying to market it as this is the future, this is the metaverse. Keep funding us and keep doing it. I don't blame the guy. I think it's just silly.
I think sometimes you're kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, right? Yeah. Like you're surrounded by all that, and I don't know. But like, I don't know. If you're a real gamer, man, like I feel like,
it just can't be on all the time, man. And maybe it's just like that's just our take and stuff. I don't
know. You need a journey though, You need one of those games that's like that round. You need the video game landscape to be well-rounded.
Yeah.
Because there's people that want that.
Yeah, you want like an intimate, like, okay, hey, this is a thing that I'm doing. Like, I don't know, just the constant, like, I like to play games where it's like, hey, I've socialized enough today. I'm going to go into my little bubble and just play something or just be by myself, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not to say you can't let like one or two people into your bubble and, hey, we're going to play Space Marine or we're going to do balloons or something.
Right.
But still we're like relaxing and stuff. If every video game was always on, you had to have this thing. You always had to be on the internet and always, it's just like, and then every single game is going to be like, hey, you got to do your dailies. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do your dailies. Oh, now you got to do the weeklies. Okay, here's your battle pass.
Dude, there's something to be said about
White Eyes and Tekken.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
there's something to be said about grinding, and people do like that, which
but they're going to pick
for them,
a game. You're going to have your game.
I don't know, man. Like you need, in my opinion, you need more than just the grind. You need the, wow, what an amazing story, or man, I really love these characters,
Yeah.
And like The Last of Us.
Well, that's why you can call video games art and moving and stuff.
That's
like
what I
nobody's
think.
Crying at Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Well.
Just saying.
Nobody's crying because of the beauty of Fortnite.
You could. There's ray tracing now.
Okay.
Whatever.
I think kids are crying because they lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like even like Call of Duty or whatever, you're playing Call of Duty. It's like, you'll have maybe some memorable experiences, which is great. But I don't know. Like after you want to have those amazing experiences when you're playing by yourself too, and you're playing a story, and you're seeing someone's vision that they created for a narrative or their characters or whatever. Yep. I don't know.
So you said Call of Duty, and real quick, I know we're almost done. Have you checked out anything with the new Battlefield?
No.
That there's little tidbits and rumors and things like that going on, where I think people from Respawn are getting involved.
Okay.
So like Call of Duty, like I think it's Vincent Bella is the one that's doing it, if I'm not mistaken. But he was talking about it. They're looking at Battlefield 3 and 4. Classes are gone. Nobody wants classes. And it's just like they're trying to take.
What do you mean classes are gone?
Or classes are there, but the
operators or whatever.
Operator, all that. Yeah, it's like no, this is what people liked.
You mean they're Battlefield?
Clear. Yeah. Well, but they might be listening. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm excited about that.
It's tough though, because it's like on the one hand, I want people to push the envelope and continue to evolve. Like obviously, you can't just keep releasing the same game. Mm-hmm. So I like taking risks, but I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like they're out of touch with like. I think you can tell when someone's creating something and they understand the property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's easy to tell when they are in touch with the fan base, and they're like, because there's things where people have evolved a game and they're like, wow, these are really awesome changes. Like this still fits within the realm of what I expect, but it also pushes it forward. And I'm trying to think of an example, but All that's coming to my head is like Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper 1 is a totally different game than 2.
Yeah.
But people love both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like an evolution. So it's like you have to understand what's the core of my franchise or whatever. How do I keep that intact?
Yeah, like a Spyro.
And then what I can add. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Spyro is pretty much the same.
He can swim in the second one.
That's true, dude. Ripto's Rage is a great game.
Yeah.
Well, Sly 1 and 2. Sly 1 is like a linear platformer kind of game. And then Sly 2 is like an more open world, like sneaky game. There's actually stealth in it, which is like, it's a wild difference.
I bet you that stealth is better than Star Wars Outlaws.
I love Sly, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd say that.
Yeah.
I love Sly Cooper. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Which
When's
coming
Doom?
soon.
Is Doom next year?
Doom's next year.
Yeah.
I actually have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's all we got. I thought we were going to be done like 40 minutes.
Sorry. Yeah. Video games are healthy. We're good.
I don't know. I think they're all right. You've made it this far. We appreciate you. Check us out, couchcompany.games. All our lists are there. We're adding to it every day. A couple more coming soon. And then all our episodes, everything's on there pretty much. So couchcompany.games. And then we're going to be here, same time, same place next week. Tyler's not missing this time.
Oh, just throw that on me.
I did
All
throw it
right.
on you.
Sure,
well,
I will be
here.
here.
I missed the other time.
Yeah.
Throwing it on me too. We're going to be here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch. Peace.